Hey, it's Panzer here. I'm going to be putting together a 50mm shoulder rig. It's just a bunch of random parts on eBay. It's nothing that's like, I guess, a pre-packaged deal that you could buy. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about the parts as I'm putting it together. So it's real simple. It's just your standard offset shoulder rig. I'm going to start with the camera mount. This came in a package for about $62. It came with a heavy lens support, which I actually use for the bottom of the NEX 6 when I have an adapter for the heavier vintage lenses. And I'm going to put those together. It came with two 25cm rails. And it's pretty simple. This stuff is actually really well built. Everything here is pretty much from China or off-brand stuff. So the whole rig was about $135, I think, for everything. Not bad. But that's not including the follow focus, which is a. I'll get to that later. But okay. I'm gonna go ahead and mount the camera. I like this. It's a Fotsay. There's so many weird Chinese off-brands and whatnot. But I'm going to be mounting the camera furthest forward as I can, so I could use this as a secondary lens support, meaning this won't be screwed in, so I can easily switch to, say, the famous Sigma 30mm. That's a really good lens for, and the autofocus is great for video too. But I really want to use these vintage prime lenses because they're funner to use. Sigma works great though. Okay. I'm going to raise this up a bit, which is great. This plate is way too big for, I would say, this camera. However, you could get a quick release plate that's smaller, raises it up a bit. The good thing about the NEX 6 is it has a flat traditional, well, not traditional, but the 5R, 5N, 3, they have like this kind of a dip that makes the mounting tripod plates or quick release plates kind of weird because they kind of touch this little lens mount. But the good thing about the 6 is that it takes advantage of the full surface area, so it should mount a little cleaner. I do say the worst thing about this rig, like the one thing that I hate the most, is mounting this type of screw. There's like no easy way to do it. I'm probably making an idiot of myself like this, but it's just because you can't just take a thumb to it or anything natural. You have to use a stupid method. This is no quick release plate, so. But now that I have this thing raised up here, I could say drop this down a little bit here and then bring back this about to here, so that this is going to be pushing up and adding support to the, see that? You can see it barely move. They'll just enough, not too much to give stress to the camera mount, but just enough to kind of give this adapter some. So I'm going to push up here and I lock it in. But I'm not pushing very hard, but it's just enough so there's no play with this adapter on the camera, and then it's kind of like a dual mount system actually, but not that complicated. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so this is on. Got the tripod mount, that there. Better check that this is on. Good. So I'm going to install the Hondo Garage follow focus. It's so easy to do. And this will have to go on before the foregrips too, because obvious reasons. Hondo Garage doesn't have a clamp that works on the outside, so I might need to put the band on for a little more friction, but I'll just leave this here for now. You know, I think with enough practice, installing this Hondo Garage will be just as easy as any other follow focus design. And luckily the rubber ribs on this Minolta 50mm 1.4 is enough. I mean, there's some play when you reach the end of the infinity focus, but that's because it literally can't go anywhere. So that works pretty good. I'll leave that there. But the rest of this is really simple. It's just installing the offset. Yeah, this I might turn the camera mount. I could. It comes with the 2 hex key, wrenches, and I could just turn this way if I needed to, if it's too much of a trouble to keep getting my fingers under this thing. But that's the good thing about a 15mm rig, is that you could continually just upgrade it, and change it, and constantly. That's good. These are 30cm rails. I should have got maybe 45cm, 40. Just a little longer, because I found that I would like a little bit more space for my offset, but I think they're fine for what they are. Okay. All right, and I'll pop this thing on here. Actually, I better make sure that the shoulder's going. All right, perfect. Because this actually has a contour to your shoulder sloping down. Okay, so I'm going to be putting a counterbalance here when I get to it. And then the last part is these. I really like these things. They're really simple, literally only $10 from China, free shipping on eBay, and they fit your hand pretty well, and there's really nothing to complain about for the price. I mean, the texture isn't the most like the grip here on the 5, the 6. I keep want to call this the 5N because that's the old camera I used to have. But and then the $10 package comes with a pretty decent little rail clamp here that has the threading to just screw it on. I would be careful with these plastic knobs here, but they seem really tough. So hopefully there'll be no problems in the future. So. These have been going on and off for a bit, because you can see the scratches here. I played with this for a little bit, but I'll just barely tighten that, position it later. Here, unscrew this one, and then I'll tighten it. I noticed that I could tighten it like this, kind of have like a rest. So I'll do a little bit of a off here, just for fun. About right there. I'll go a little closer. I kind of have it backwards, but it really is no problem. Actually, yeah, there we go. And they're nice and tight. Now I have this pretty good oh, I didn't tighten this one all the way. It always takes playing with to get it just right. There we go. That's good. You're gonna have this offset, and once I got these, I'm gonna try to mod these leg weights that have adjustable. There's these lead bars in here. They're really tight in here, but I'll try to get the weight of this rig here directly with these, and I'm going to have an offset on the back that kind of hangs like this somehow. Hopefully it'll balance this rig out pretty well, at least so it doesn't just slide off my shoulder, because there's no weight back there. So here's the rig, and shortly we'll take it outside to try it out. Let's see how stable it is without a counterbalance. And then I have easy access to my lens here. I could put lens hood on for outdoor shooting, because these older ones are prone to more flaring. So let's take this outside and see how stable I could get. This is semi-telephoto. It's not quite there, but it is in the telephoto spectrum, because the 50mm here is the equivalent to 75mm on the 1.5 crop factor on the NEX cameras. So we'll see how this looks with a bit of shake, but even this is pretty comfortable even without the counterbalance. But luckily for me, very lightweight but really well built, follow focus, and decently light NEX. A 5R would be a much lighter solution to here. Get pretty much the same thing, but you don't get the viewfinder. It's really all it is in the hot shoe, I guess. But here, this is something to show that you're really happy is that I can have literally my thumb doing focus. I gotta still put that band on here because I noticed it tracking a bit because it's just not quite tight enough, but I could easily fix that. But my other finger, once I have my exposure and whatnot set up, I could literally rack aperture because this is a D-click lens, and that's going to be really sweet because I still have my thumb and palm gripping this lens here, and so I could literally be controlling focus and racking aperture at the same time with enough practice, and that's going to be quite a cool thing to do. So let's take it out. But I got my my polarizer right here. What's cool about this hood is that I could just, to change the polarizer, I could easily just turn this entire hood. It's kind of silly, but it actually cuts down a lot of reflections over there in the garden that I'll be filming. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this to, I'm going to set up my exposure really quick and make sure I'm on video settings. Perfect. Now I'm going to do that thing about racking exposure, watching my histogram. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and try. Not bad for a pretty telephoto-y perspective because I'm about 15 feet away from where this is shooting. So now I'll try one arm here with my thumb kind of messing with the depth of field. And then going back to the flowers here with depth of field, rack focus. I mean, it's not bad, and I'm going to actually point this at my cameraman. And I'll rack focus really quick, right to him. I mean, it's going to be shaky because it's telephoto, and you know, it's not on a tripod. That's usually when you mean to rack focus. But I'm going to grab I'm going to actually use my cameraman again. I'll go ahead and rack exposure so he's a little bit better exposed. Wow, that polarizer does a marvelous job. Okay, so I'm going to try to do a somewhat smooth rack focus between him and the depth of field of the flowers in the garden behind him. So I'm going to go ahead and try that right about from here to, I'll use my thumb so I could kind of have some fingers on my foregrip here. Right, and rack. Cool. Back. That's actually going to be pretty good for when you're doing an event where you have people, you know, up close. And I mean, that actually didn't look that shaky from this little LCD here. So yeah, I'll rack it back to him. Very cool. Back there. Back to him. That's perfect. He's a nice model for me. All right. Walking on grass, so it's not like concrete or anything. Try to walk really smoothly. Okay, and go back to him. Ooh, it needs to. Once again, I could rack. He's overexposed right now, so just use my finger. I haven't practiced this, but I could just throw that up there and get it just about right. Though it's hard to tell in my LCD because it's I don't have my hood yet for it. And back to here, use my finger to drop that exposure because it's too dark. There we go. This works pretty good, even just using my thumb like this. Back to here. Here, we're just camera dueling right now, that's for sure. Rack my exposure up a bit. This is good practice, even if it's a boring video. Pretty cool. I mean, this is actually just keep going around racking exposure because oh, I can't focus that close. His damn little 28 could do better than that. Go back to there. There we go. This is good practice, but yeah, I mean, because there's no counterbalance, I'm feeling a little bit of burn in my my right arm, but he says he's got more burn, right? It's not that bad. My left arm actually is doing real good, but my right arm will, I'm a lefty, I'm a southpaw, so my right arm always gets a little more burned out, but that's because I'm holding up the whole weight of this rig, which, you know, it's 3 to 4 pounds. So, well, thanks for filming this. I hope this video is helpful for anyone that's looking to build some kind of rig for their NEX. I love these cameras, they're so... Okay, let's go.